If you've been paying attention, then you know that I'm no stranger to drugs. In fact, I did a whole video about my journey with drugs and how I got sober. I'll link that later in the video. Now, I need to start by saying that any bathhouse you go to ever is going to have a strict zero tolerance policy when it comes to drugs. These spaces do not encourage the use and consumption of any type of drugs. I've seen people refused at the door because they look to be like in an altered state, and I've seen people kicked out when it was discovered that they were using. So what have we learned here? Say it with me, folks. Bathhouses do not want you doing drugs in their spaces. But does that mean it doesn't happen? Of course not. In this video, I'm going to break down who is doing drugs, the type of drugs that typically circulate in a bathhouse, when the drug use is at its highest, how to spot the signs of someone who's using, and what to do if you encounter drug use. Let's go. Bathhouses can be fun, sexy places, and I have tons of spicy stories that I share in full detail over on my OnlyFans page, not to mention a couple of collabs that I also shot there. So for a more spicy take on the topic, check out my OnlyFans linked in my website found below. Okay, let's not waste any more time. What kind of drugs could you find at a bathhouse? One of the most popular ones that you will find there are methamphetamines. Meth, tina, ice, whatever you want to call it. It's it's actually a little crystal. You can turn it into a powder. You can snort it, smoke it, inject it. There's different ways of doing it. Now, why this one is so popular with people at bathhouses is because it gives you energy. It gives you the fake courage to go after things. It also eliminates all your inhibitions, which some people like. And so for people that need a boost for those things, this is what they use. Another very popular one is GHB, which you may have heard in my True Gay Crime stories because it's the date rape drug, because it's a clear liquid that you can put into drinks that people won't even know they're drinking until they drunk it. So the reason this one is popular is because it makes you feel very sexual. It makes you social. It does a lot of the things that the meth does. Instead of an upper, it's more of a downer. So I would say the meth is like, gets your heart racing and gets everything going. And the GHB is gonna give you like a, I'm drunk, I'm really drunk sort of thing. It slows your heart rate down and everything. GHB is very important. Never ever accept a drink from a stranger anywhere, but especially at a bathhouse, because you just don't know. You don't know who this person is, and maybe they spiked your drink. It's very easy to do. Guys, if you're finding this video helpful so far, make sure to give it a like. And if you enjoy my channel at all, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell for notifications. Thank you. Okay, the big question is, who are these people that are doing these illegal substances? And the answer is really anybody. You cannot judge a book by its cover. You might never even know. You might hook up with somebody and not even know that they were. We have stereotypical images from TV and shows and movies that give us what somebody who's on drugs looks like. You really won't know most of the times. Sometimes you can tell, most times you can't. People that are doing drugs in a bathhouse are doing it on different scales. For example, there could be the first timer. There could be the weekend warrior, where he only gets high on the weekends and enjoys it that way. Or you've got the daily addict who needs his fix every day. So the bottom line is, you're not gonna know really who's doing it. Everybody has their own reasons. The important thing here is not to judge people. The only thing you should ever be worried about is yourself. And if the other person is a danger to themselves or to you, then you got a problem, then you go to management. Okay, why are they doing it? So I feel strongly that helping to understand why somebody is doing drugs helps to humanize that person instead of demonizing them, and it helps to prevent the othering that we do from prejudice. So what are some of the reasons people do drugs? Well, some people do it for fun, right? They want to blow off steam. Maybe they have a hectic lifestyle. It's their birthday. It's a holiday. They've got time off work. This is their time. They're just going to blow off some steam. Other people do it to lower their inhibitions, to be more social in these settings. Because as we know, we discuss this all the time, it's not easy to approach people. Fear of rejection and all that other stuff. So some people do it to lower those inhibitions, make them more courageous in these social settings. And of course, you've got the addicts who are just, they need it. It's just like breathing to them. It's in their back pocket all the time and they got to do it. That was me for a while. Every situation is unique, so it's just important not to lump everybody together in like one category of prejudice. Okay, Patrick, you are freaking me out because you told us that you were going to tell us how to spot the signs of somebody who is on drugs. And now you're telling me that you might not even know that somebody is. And honestly, that's the truth. You may just never even know. But there are some kind of telltale signs. If somebody, of course, they could be just drunk on alcohol, of course. If they're incoherent, maybe they're babbling, they're not making any sense, they can't complete a sentence, maybe they can't keep their eyes open. GHB is notorious for having people do too much because it's a liquid, and if you're not measuring properly, you've done too much, you go down on G, and it's extremely dangerous. So you can't keep your eyes open, or dilated pupils, obviously. If you think that somebody is seriously in distress, then please do tell the staff. You are not going to get into trouble, and you might even save somebody's life or save them from getting taken advantage of. Because sometimes I've seen somebody passed out on their bed, the door is open, their stuff is all laying around, like just fully ready to be taken advantage of. If you really feel like there's a problem, please tell the staff. When is drug use at its highest? This is kind of a no-brainer. It's going to be weekends, mostly late nights, but like not like 10 p.m. I mean, obviously, anytime, obviously, but it's really amplified in the wee hours. So after the bar lets out, after the after hours, you know, if you have a bathhouse near you that's 24 hours, you know, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, into the next morning, you know, those are typically the people that are doing that. And that's usually the time that they're doing it. Okay, this one is really important. What do you do when you encounter somebody who is on drugs? I like to think of it this way. And this is coming from somebody who was on a lot of drugs for a lot of time. And now I'm on the other side of that. The person that's doing the drugs is in a vulnerable position. You, as the sober-ish person, are the person in control of the situation. You have the power because anything you're doing, any kind of drug, is going to inhibit your decision-making. It's going to make you more vulnerable to, like, you know, other people sort of taking advantage of you. You're just in a more vulnerable state. And I find when I look at it from that perspective, it softens the edges and makes it not seem so like vile or hated or why are you doing this and getting angry or anything like that. I think it's also important not to overreact. Again, unless they're a danger to you or themselves, in which case, go tell somebody. But I think it's also important not to overreact. You don't know this person. You don't know why they're doing it. You have no idea about their story. You don't even know what they're on, right? You are just suspecting that, oh, this person is on drugs. But I think it's important to not judge that person and to also remember that nobody can force you to do anything you don't want to do. You say no if it's offered. You say no, you walk away. It's okay. Trust me, they'll get over it like this. Short memories when you're on drugs. Short-term memory, it's like your Dory. Like, oh, hello. Oh, hi. Whoop, hey, hi. I would just, if you're not into it, politely decline and make your exit. And there you have it. I really hope that this information was helpful for you, helpful to give you a different perspective of drug use at the tubs, and helpful in the sense that it gives you more confidence going into or meeting someone who might actually be using. And again, if you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, I've put some resources down in the description for you to check out. Your support means I can keep bringing you content like this video. And one way you can support is by becoming a patron, like my newest patrons, Will, Ken, and Karen. Patrons of my channel get advanced access to episodes, behind-the-scenes content, and monthly video chats with me. And for a deeper dive, why not sign up for my newsletter? It's absolutely free and full of fun stuff for you to enjoy, including discounts on fun items for you to purchase. For all the ways that you can support, including Patreon, OnlyFans, Just for Fans, everything is at patrickmarano.com. And I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!